right, so today we're gonna get into it. I'm here. It is story time, and I'm not holding back. I'm gonna give the tea, okay? All of it. And we're gonna find out how I found out that I'm pregnant, all right? Dum dum dum, drum roll. Here we go. I know y'all nosy. So, here we go. So, where do I even start? I found out I was pregnant, not because I was like, oh, let me go take a test, I don't feel well, but because my friends were kind of like, not my friends like a big clump of my friends, but my close friends were like, sis, where's your period? Because we all get our menstrual around the same time, right? And mine usually comes first, and people's were coming and going, and I was not seeing my friend. Like, where is she? She wasn't pulling up. And I just figured, like, I'm not gonna worry about anything until it's like 2 weeks or whatever. And my friends were like, no, sis, you're always on time. You're always on time. You're not on time right now, so you need to take a test. So I was done being stubborn, and I decided, okay, all right, whatever. Literally, I was so stubborn to the point where my friend, like, bought the test. Like, she was like, I'm buying the test. I'm spending my money, so you can't waste my money, so you have to take it. Like, you have to do this. So I was like, okay, cool. So my best friend and I, that night in June, it was literally first night of June, I was just going to her house to help her babysit, but she was on the bandwagon too about me taking this test. So she took me to Rite Aid. We used my other friend's money that she sent me to take my test. And from there, y'all, like, from there, that's when I felt it. Like, I felt it. Like, I felt like, okay, I'm not about to go home, and this is not about to be a normal night. That instinct stuff, it's real. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, you have instincts, and I guess that's why I was fighting it as well, because you'll know. If you know your body, if you know your vibe and stuff like that, like, you'll just know. But from the time I was up in Rite Aid buying that test, my best friend, she's like, no, Mia, you're fine, you're good. We're gonna go get Popeyes. We're gonna have a great night. And I'm like, I don't know, sis. Like, I really don't know. And I wasn't not protected. Like, I'm giving all the tea. I said I'm giving all the tea. I was on birth control, but clearly God had, God was like, different plans. So what happened was we took the test, and I'm really close to my best friend and her family, and it's kind of like when we got home, like, you could tell we were up to something. Like, her mom was looking at us like, why y'all, like, we hang out, like, we sit downstairs, we hang out. I had my plastic bag, like, under my arm, and we just ran right upstairs to her room, and we went right into the bathroom, shut the door, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this. So I took the test, and in less than 30 seconds, y'all, when I say this thing says wait 3 minutes, it says wait 1 minute, like 90 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever. No, look, listen, less than a minute, results were in. Okay, results were there. It just was like fluid answer. Like, I didn't have to wait. And my best friend's response was, maybe we broke it. And y'all, she was serious. She was like, maybe we broke it. Like, maybe, like, she couldn't believe it. My reaction, I was just silent. Like, for me, it was, this can't be me. Like, this is not Tamia. Like, this is me in this position. I'm in the hot seat. Like, what? Like, I just was in shock. I didn't cry right away. I didn't, like, I don't know. I'm feeling it again. I'm getting, like, goosebumps. But she was bugging. Like, she was like, we gotta go to the emergency room. But I was like, no, relax. Like, I'm not sick. But the first thing I could just think was, what am I gonna tell my grandpa? Like, my grandpa is so, like, he is like Mr. Grump Grumps. And I just was just scared. Like, I was just scared. I was just really, really scared. And I called my boyfriend, and I told my boyfriend, and he's like, okay. Like, because he wasn't able to be with me at the time. So, like, I called him wherever he was, and he just was like, okay, like, I guess he was shocked too. And I called my friends back that were pressing me to take this test because they could swear I was like, it was going to be fine. I was going to get my period right after I took the test. And all of their jaws dropped. And then it just hit. Like, my best friend's sister came into the room. And like I said, we're very obvious. Our faces tell all. So she came into the room and she's like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? And we're like, nothing. And she's like, what's wrong? And then she looks at me. She looks at me. Mind you, guys, there's nothing in the room that gives any signs of one of us may be pregnant, nothing. But she looks at me and she goes, you're pregnant? And that is when, like, a flood. Like, I was like, I'm pregnant, Brittany. Like, I literally was bawling, and she just comforted me. Like, I have to say, like, I got a lot of comfort. But that's when it hit the fan. Like, that's when it was like a whole whirlwind. Like, I have to go home. Like, I can't stay at my best friend's house forever. Like, I can't hide this. I was like, what do I do? So I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And then I finally got my butt up. Like, wow, this is crazy. I'm sorry. I finally got my butt up, and I went home. And I went home, and I just walked in my house and went right upstairs. I didn't even look at my grandma in the face. I didn't look at nobody. I just went upstairs and I just cried myself to sleep. And I wasn't crying because I was mad or angry. I was just crying because it was just like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, I take the steps. I do what I have to do, you know. Like, I just was trying to put it together in my head, and I couldn't. But anyways, the day after, like, you would think that, you know, you normally, when young girls, like, I know I'm an adult, but I'm young. When young females find out that they are pregnant, they don't really jump to tell mom or dad or their guardians, like, right away. But I couldn't hold it. And that morning, I woke up at like 7 in the morning, and I had to tell my grandmother. I was like, Grandma, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I had to tell you something. And she, excuse me, she, was like half asleep. So she's like, what's going on? Sorry, Imani's opening the door like, wow. She's like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? And I'm like, Grandma, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna be mad at me. You're like, guys, I'm literally, like, I'm acting out exactly how I cry. So I'm sorry, but I was like, you're gonna be mad. Like, I was like, please don't be mad at me. I'm over here. I'm like, I'm gonna finish school. Like, I'm gonna do, this makes me so emotional, but I'm gonna finish school. I'm gonna do what I have to do. I promise. Like, I'm going to do it. From then, like, she kind of just knew, and I told her, and I didn't get yelled at. I didn't get, you know, like, she just was like, I'm here for you, you know, like, I'm here for you, and we're gonna do the best we can, and God makes no mistake. That's kind of her reaction. And then up next was my mom, and that was hard, because I actually thought my mom was gonna, like, throw me down some steps or something. Like, I thought that she was gonna like, I thought my mother was gonna blow the whole house down. But I kind of, like, called my mom upstairs to my room, and I was like, Mommy, I have to tell you something. And she stood on one side of the bed, and I stood on the other side of the bed, because I had to protect myself. I had to make sure that I was not gonna get hurt that night. And I just told her, I was like, I have something to tell you. And I was like, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be upset, I'm warning you now. And she was like, what? And I was like, I am pregnant. And she just was looking, like, she was just looking at me, like, she was just like, the first thing that came out of her mouth was, wow, like, I was not expecting you to say that, you know, like, that's not what I thought you was about to tell me. I didn't think you were going to tell me that, because that's the last, like, if you know me, that's honestly the last thing you think my news would be. Like, I don't know, if you know who I am, like, this was a shock to not only myself, but, like, everybody. But surprisingly, her response was, you know, like, give me a hug. And she comforted me, and we had a very serious talk, which is just, like, you know, like, personal to me. But we talked about it. She didn't kill me. That's the point. And that same day, my boyfriend drove down to where I live. He spent the day with me. and kind of just like tried to comfort me, you know. But every time from there on, like when I told someone, it was like they could not believe it. Like they really could not believe it. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't have taken that test that day if it wasn't for my 3 friends who were motivating me to take the test. And I am just so happy that, like, the way it happened, the way I found out, I'm happy about who I was with. I was with my best friend in the whole wide world, and besides my boyfriend, I wouldn't have wanted to be with anybody else. And I feel like I'm about to cry, but it was a moment, and I went through a lot. Like this is life changing. But I have to say that I regret none of it. I shame none of it. I am so happy that God has chosen me to do this job, and that He's chosen me to be the one to bring my little man into this world, specifically him. He felt that I need to be his mother, so I'm going to do the best that I can, because that's all you can do. And I just have to say, like, to everyone who knows me closely, don't you cry. To everyone that knows me personally, doesn't know me all the way personally, but may know my face, and who's just like shared positive words with me since you did find out, because I did not publicize my pregnancy until I was 5 months, like until I was nearly like almost 5 months pregnant. But since then, like, I've received nothing but love everywhere. I haven't received any form of negativity or hate. I mean, not to my face, at least. But I just want to thank everyone for your support. It never goes unnoticed. And sorry, I'm gassy and I'm crying and I'm a mess, but I am just so thankful. So that's how I found out I was pregnant. My friends, they purchased a test. They forced me to take it, even though I had instincts. But yeah, I never got sick. It wasn't anything like I was puking my life away, but I just was, it was something off. It was a different vibe. But yes, now I am 6 months pregnant, and I'm here, and I have so much love, and I'm so happy. And that is my story time to how I found out I was pregnant, and a little details on how I told the primary people in my life. And yeah, that's it. I'll have a Q&A just based off of Nugget. That's what we're gonna call baby. We call baby Nugget. And that'll be coming next. But thank you for listening, and I'm so happy that I could share this with you all, and I have many more things to share and coming your way. So thank you for watching. I got a little emotional with y'all. It's okay. That's what I'm here for. But yes, thank you.